guys, it has literally been like a day and a half since I finished the Red Scrolls of Magic, but here I am back reading The Lost Book of the Wire by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the second book in the Eldest Curses trilogy and the penultimate book before I get to Chain of Gold, which is the last book I own currently. Chain of Iron will change that. But I'm here. I don't know what this one is about. I know it's about Magnus and Alec, and I think it is set after the Mortal Instruments book before the Dark Artificers, and technically after Shadowhunter Academy. Because I'm fairly sure this one features Magnus and Alec with Max, who is their adopted warlock child. That is literally all I know about the story. I don't know anything else. I really tried limiting what I knew going in. Sorry, I was trying to open the book at the same time, but I was trying to limit what I knew going in because I wanted it to be enjoyable. So here we are. I'm going to start. I will chat to you guys when I have updates. I will be updating you spoiler-filled throughout. Obviously, if you've watched any of these videos, you should know by now I may spoil other books in the series as and when something relevant pops up, but I can't tell you what I'll spoil because obviously it depends, but there will be spoilers for this book and chances are there will be spoilers for previous books. So make sure you check out my playlist of me reading the Shadowhunter books because every book that I have read is at risk of being spoiled, and if you have not read any of them, it's best you don't watch this video, just in case. Alright, so I will chat to you guys when I have something to update you on. See you soon. So all this time, I've been feeling so tight and so bad because Magnus thought his best friend was dead and has been grieving him whilst Ragnar was always alive. Now I find out that Magnus knew about it. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel betrayed by Magnus. That was a nice little plot twist in the first chapter. Or a prologue even, not even a first chapter, prologue. Nice plot twist. I like it. So now Ragnar's working with Shinyon. The drama continues. I'm literally stopping every chapter because so much drama is happening. I am not feeling too good right now about this. Okay, two things. One, this thorn thing that Magnus has been stabbed with, a little bit scary. Don't fully understand it. Second thing, probably the most important thing I'm ever going to say, I don't like Simon being called Simon Lovelace. I mean, I know that he changed his name. I know that that happened, but he's Simon Lewis. He is not Simon Lovelace. It's wrong. He is Simon Lewis. I don't like it. I love Simon with a passion, but I can't handle Lovelace. I mean, I love the message behind it. I love the fact that he had to change his name. I love the fact he chose to change it in honour of George. But dear God, Simon Lovelace instead of Simon Lewis is barbaric. Clary's had the same dream as Magnus. And we know from the Dark Artificers that when Clary has dreams, they tend to happen. So I'm very intrigued. It's obviously something to do with this stab wound Magnus has got. But like what? What's it going to cause? What's going to happen? This is actually intriguing me a lot more than the Red Scrolls of Magic is. Like, when I read that one, it was fine, but I didn't really care. It didn't really add much to the story. It was just an enjoyable read. I feel as though this is adding a little bit of something, like Magnus's relationship with Ragnar and all of the team coming together and stuff like that. It's adding a bit. I'm intrigued to know. I'm going to go to bed now, but I'm going to carry on first thing in the morning. And I'm very excited to see how this goes. Oh, great. Shinyon stabbed him again. Where is this going to lead? Obviously, nothing bad's going to happen. Same with my issues with Red Scrolls of Magic. This is set between the end of the Mortal Instruments and the start of the Dark Artificers. Meaning I know Magnus doesn't die because he's in the Dark Artificers. But what's going to happen? That's the intriguing part. This is obviously, if he's not going to die, then he needs to allow Asmodeus into his heart. And if he does that, what's going to happen there? Ooh. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I really feel like Jason and Simon are like total best friend goals. They are wonderful, aren't they? I feel bad that I haven't been updating you guys, but I just really have nothing to say. Like, I'm reading the book, but there's nothing of, like, importance that I actually want to say to you. I like that Jem's in it. It's nice to see Jem, and it's nice to see him with these people that are technically his family. That's quite nice. But yeah, no other strong opinions. It's very chill at the minute, so I have nothing really to talk about.
Good evening, guys. I am very sorry I haven't really been updating you again with this book. I've said that before. I don't want to say bored, because that's not the case. Stuff's happening, the plot's moving along. I'm fine with the read. But it's kind of like my issues with the Red Scrolls of Magic, in a sense of it's set between the Mortal Instruments and the Dark Artificers. And all of these characters appear in the Dark Artificers. Clary and Jace, Isabel, Simon, Alec, Magnus, Ragnar, they all appear in the Dark Artificers. So I know none of them are ever going to come to some serious harm. I know none of them are ever going to be killed or in any big danger. Even Ragnar. Ragnar is the villain in this book, and he's still going to get his redemption. He's still going to be redeemed somehow because he's in the Dark Artificers. So Magnus has never mentioned that he was against Ragnar in the Dark Artificers, and surely he would have. So I feel like everyone, like, I know how everyone's story is going to end, so it just seems pointless going on the journey. You know, not that I'm not enjoying the journey, because I am. It's an interesting story. I'm fine going along with it. But when you know how it's going to end, it takes away some of the thrill of reading. And that's how I'm feeling. I'm very disappointed in that sense. But overall, it's not a bad read. I'm just finding it very difficult to update you on stuff because I don't have any strong feelings or opinions about stuff. But I've just got to part 3 of the book, which I'm very glad at. So hopefully some stuff might happen. I might have some things to update you on now. We'll see.
So the idea that Ragnar was the one to help Magnus adjust to his life as a warlock really touched me, because it really showed their friendship and how long they've been friends and then really how close their bond is. Which makes this whole situation sadder, because whilst I assume nothing bad is going to happen to Ragnar considering he's in future books, it's nice to see that Magnus is going to be very badly affected by this, because obviously they've been so close for so long. Interesting, I like that.
Elias appeared! Oh, I love Elias. He's my favourite demon.
So, like, again, this scene with Isabel should have been very highly impactful. It should have been really, really interesting and really, really scary, because we should be thinking, oh my god, what's going to happen? Is she going to survive? But because I've read The Dark Artificers and I know she appears, I'm not scared at all. And that's the issue. It's the issue with this book. It was my issue with the Red Scrolls of Magic. And I know this is set before the Dark Artificers, so I should have read them before the Dark Artificers. Or I should have read this one before the Dark Artificers. However, this book was published in 2020. The Dark Artificers was published earlier. So any of, like I said in the last one, Cassandra Clare's long-term fans who have read the books in the order they came out, because they've always been caught up, that's all they've been able to do, this doesn't work for them. I don't want to class myself as one of them because I only read this book last year. However, I started reading this series before The Lost Book of the White came out. Yeah, I hadn't caught up to the Dark Artificers yet, but I had started by the time this book came out, and probably a month before this book came. No, this book came out, and then a month later I read The Dark Artificers. So, like, long-term fans who've read the book in a specific way because it's all they've been able to do, we'll never have the feeling that this book is trying to give us. And what you need to do, little Cassie, is really put this attention and focus into making sure your long-term fans are not ignored. Because working for new fans who have got all of these books and can read them in chronological order works. Your old fans who have read them in the order that they've been able to, and that is it, don't work for them. And they're the ones that really should be catering to, because they're the ones that have stuck around. They're the ones that probably matter. Not that anyone that is new to the series does not matter, but like the long-term fans are the ones that have stuck with you. So put a little thought and attention into that.
So, the betrayal in this book, I really don't want to pronounce his name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But the betrayal that happened in this book is pretty much identical to the betrayal that happened in the first book, and I'm like, that's really lacking originality. Like, it's the most obvious plot twist ever anyway, but to actually use the same plot device you used in the first book feels very sloppy. I'm not happy.
Maybe I'm just looking too much into this, but Shinyan's just said there is a hell of being pecked to death by ducks, and Jace has just said, whoa, what's that last one? And to me, that's just a really funny reference that Jace and Will are obviously related. Will is Jace's ancestor. So, Jace having like, whoa, what's going on with ducks? In relation to Will's quote in the Infernal Devices where he says, you can never trust a duck. That's just a nice little joke, and I don't even know if that was the point, but to me that was the point, and I really enjoyed
Simon talk about how he thinks the Shadowhunters just run into stuff and don't actually consider it, and they always put themselves in danger, and it's a horrible life to live. And then it kind of took us back to when George died in Shadowhunter Academy, and that was quite powerful. I really liked that. That was a really good chapter where Simon was talking about that, because he made a big point of, you're always trying to risk yourselves, you're always trying to do this stuff, but you never once stop and actually ask for help from people that could help you, like the Clave or any of the other people of the Shadowhunters. They always run into stuff without trying to get back up and always risk their lives. And they always say it's what Shadowhunters do, but they never actually consider that, yeah, maybe Shadowhunters do risk their lives, but running into stuff knowing that you should have got help and that you are just going to potentially get yourself killed now is ridiculous. And they all responded to him saying, well, we've been lucky so far. And, you know, he makes a point of saying, yes, so far, but eventually your luck is going to run out and you're going to lose. That's just how life is. Eventually you are going to lose and you're going to end up with nothing. And I thought that was a really powerful moment and a really important moment, actually, for our gang to hear. I like that.
Okay, so Ragnar's saved. What does this mean for Magnus, though? Because now the swords that save Ragnar have disappeared. I don't really know what's going on. I'm finding this book a bit tedious now. I just want to finish. And I'm just not loving my time. Like, it's not bad. It's not a bad read. It's probably like a 3-star read. It's fine. I have no strong opinions on it. I'm just like, can I just be done now? Which makes me quite sad. Whilst I admit I really like that flashback scene with Katarina and Magnus, what was the point? Like, I'm hoping that we get a point to that in whatever's left of the book in this last chapter. Because whilst I enjoyed it, there was no relevance to the story. And I didn't understand why it was there. Okay, that scene with Katarina and Magnus has just been referenced. But not enough for the story to justify the flashback. Like, you could have literally just said it. Because they literally just said word for word what happened. And I was like,
hi guys, I hope you're doing okay. I just wanted to let you... sorry, you disappeared. I just wanted to let you know that I have just finished The Lost Book of the Wyatt. Where are my thoughts? For starters, I want to tell you about my experience with the epilogue. that was really good. I actually really enjoyed my time with the epilogue. I thought it was very dark. I thought that it is going to lead on quite well into the last book, which is the Black Volume of the Dead. I really enjoyed it. I want to know where it's going. All of these greater demons joining together to take over the world, and I am excited. I really want to know where it's going, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Even though I didn't like this book, in the end, I've given this book a 2.5 star rating. So it's not a great rating. I did have issues with it, but I'm still extremely excited to continue and finish this trilogy. So that's good. At least I'm not wanting to like DNF the entire trilogy. My issues with it, I just feel like, as I've said, I know who's in danger and who's not, blah, blah, blah. But I also feel like this is the first time I've read a book with Cassandra Clare having a co-author that I've felt it was written by a co-author. Like, I've read all of her companion novels and they've had co-authors. I read the first book and it was by Wesley Chu as well. And I didn't feel like that. I still felt as though it had essentially Cassandra Clare's vibe, even if it was a bit different. This just didn't feel Cassandra Clare-y. Like, for example, Isabel was always like swooning over Simon and calling him, oh, my love, and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not Isabel. Isabel had punched Simon before she called him my love. Like I get that they're in a relationship and maybe their relationship's changed a little bit and developed since the end of the Mortal Instruments, but it just didn't sit right with me. So I feel as though the characters have been written differently, maybe. I wasn't in love with it. I just felt as though I didn't particularly care about the story. And I feel as though that's because I knew nothing bad was going to happen, so I didn't have any emotional investment in it. So overall, it wasn't a great experience. My time reading it was not negative. It was actually a very nice time. I just lost interest more and more as I went through, sadly. But I do still have high hopes for book 3. And now that means I can move on to Chain of Gold, which I am really excited for. I'm going to be starting that as soon as possible. My copy of Chain of Iron's nowhere near coming yet. It says it's coming between the end of March and the end of May. So, I don't know. So I have Chain of Gold, and I'm going to start that very soon. Hopefully get that read. I'm ready, and I'm excited. But that is the end of this story for now. That is the end of this trilogy for now, until the 3rd book comes out. I'm glad I've finished. I enjoyed the read-ish. I enjoyed that I read it, but I didn't enjoy the experience. But I'm done. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of these, because I'm very interested to know whether you feel as though it compares very well to the rest of the Shadowhunter series. But for now, guys, I'm going to go, and I will see you when I come back with Chain of Gold, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. So, for now, I will see you guys later. Bye.